Hi, welcome back to Cosmo's universe. Today's question is, what are constellations? For people that are just beginning to learn about astronomy, understanding constellations can be a great and simple way to get started. And the really fantastic thing is you don't even need a telescope or binoculars to see them. From most places on Earth, you can easily see many stars. The fewer lights there are around you, the more stars you'll see. I'll talk about this a little bit more in another video. People many thousands of years ago saw the stars as well. Of course, these ancient people didn't have telescopes, so they didn't know what the stars were. What they did instead was make imaginary shapes and pictures from the stars. These imaginary shapes are called constellations. It's kind of like doing join the dots with the stars. About 3,500 years ago, the ancient Greeks invented the constellations we mainly use today. The ancient Greeks had really good imaginations, and imagined seeing powerful gods and fantastic mythical creatures in the nighttime sky. But because these ancient people lived in Greece, not all the stars could be seen from where they lived, so not all the constellations are Greek. It was mainly the Dutch sailors that sailed the southern oceans only a few hundred years ago that made up most of the constellations that we see and use today. So people living in the northern hemisphere, in places like Europe, Canada and North America, see slightly different constellations than the people living in the southern hemisphere, like Australia, South Africa and South America. Two very famous constellations that can easily be seen from both the northern and southern hemispheres are Orion and Scorpius. But each of these are seen a little differently depending on where you live. If you live in the northern hemisphere, for instance, you'll mainly see Orion in winter and Scorpius in summer. Both constellations will be low in the sky towards the south. But if you live in the southern hemisphere, they're seen in opposite seasons, Orion in summer and Scorpius in winter. Plus, they're both quite high in the northern sky from the southern hemisphere. By the way, from places like Australia, Orion is upside down. In total, there's 88 constellations in the whole sky. We can't see them all at once, mainly because as the Earth rotates, some rise as others set. And as I mentioned earlier, we see different constellations throughout the different seasons. And there are some constellations we never see, depending on which hemisphere you live in. People living in Australia can never see constellations like Draco or Cassiopeia, and people in places like Europe, Canada, and North America can never see the Southern Cross. There's so much more to learn about constellations, so keep an eye out for more videos. As always, I hope this helps, and look forward to seeing you next time in Cosmo's universe.